California's annual budget is $300 billion. The Reparations Task Force wants to spend at least $800 billion, which will take hundreds and hundreds of years to pay for. That is, if anyone's left in California to write a check. All right, so speaking about stupid, I want to show you these two people. These two people are the head of the task force in California. The one on the left is Camila Moore. She's the chair of the California Reparations Task Force. She's got her happy face on there. And the gentleman to her right is Amos Brown. He is the vice chair. They have just released, this is great. They've just released their plan on what California is going to spend to take money from white people who never owned slaves and never had a relationship to owning slaves, because California never was a slave state and it came into the Union as a non-slave state. So there never were slaves in California. And on the other side, they're going to take all this money and they're going to give it to black people in California that could never have been slaves in California. But forget that part, because that's a detail that blows up their whole plan. Just by way of background, the annual budget for the state of California is about $300 billion, which they run at a deficit. Okay? So, and that pays for everything. So police and the roads and the environmentalists and the ocean protection and highway patrol and airports. You know, California is like the 7th largest country in the world. It's an enormous budget. The reparations plan is up to $800 billion and has not included, because they didn't figure this part out yet, compensation for property that this group says was taken unjustly or was devalued because it was owned by black people. I don't know what that even means, because nobody would have taken a black business, but they say blacks didn't make enough money, and so they're going to give them extra money, and it's on top of the $800 billion. So in other words,
according to them, we still ain't making enough money.
Right. This will take about 1 trillion years to pay for, and everyone's going to leave on top of the people that have already left. More people have left the state of California. The tax base is doing this than any other state in America. And when this plan is finally released by Newsom, I don't know who's going to be left, truthfully, to pay taxes. Well, prediction. Is California headed for literally a bankruptcy?
It really looks that way. There's no way that they're going to be able to pay all of this. You know, and I'm going to try to be careful with my words here. The federal government is wanting California to pay back some of the money that they received from the Kung Flu, right? And instead of California paying it back, Newsom is taxing local businesses in the state. Not only local businesses, but the people in the state, for them to pay it back, anyone who received those funds during the time of Kung Flu. And the reason why I bring that up is because they need the money to come from somewhere if they're going to do for reparation. But the last thing I heard, Barry, is that Newsom said that they're not going to actually do it because there's no way they can squeeze the money out of the people in California. It's going to cause the state to collapse. If they pass it in both the House and the Senate in California and it goes to his desk, the state will collapse immediately because there's no way they can afford to do it.
I truly believe that, and maybe that's what's happening in the exodus from the state. You know, there's all these jokes that you see online, all these U-Hauls, you know, the big trucks you can rent, that a one-way rental out of California costs triple what it costs anywhere else. You know why? Because normally they rent them knowing they're going to come back. Nobody is moving to California.
No.
So they got to truck back the trucks empty because no one will rent them.
Yep. No one's renting them to take them back. And it's not even a joke. It's happening for real. I left California, Barry, almost 4 years now. Wow, it's really amazing. It's about almost 4 years now. When I left California that time, I did one of those, what do they call those pod things?
Oh yeah, the pod, they put it in your yard to fill it up.
Yeah, I did one of those pods, right? It took me a month to get it because they were behind. Then 4 years ago, Barry, that was 4 years ago. So now it only makes sense reason why they're raising the prices on them, because I didn't go back, and no one, and I don't know anyone who went back. And it's really a shame, because California is such a beautiful country. It's just the mentality of the stupid zombie liberals there that are destroying the state.
No argument.
But this reparation, let me real quick on this reparation, Barry. This is another tactic to get at black people, to get black people to believe that Democrats are supporting them. And then when this falls flat on their face, when this whole reparation thing falls flat on its face, this is going to be another talking point that the Democrats are going to say, see, black people, see, the Republicans don't want you to have reparations. They don't want you to come up. They don't want you to have a leg up. They don't want you to be successful, which is a bunch of lies. They're doing this to manipulate people that are stupid enough to believe it. And you talk about money, people want money. I don't care who they are, who you are. People need, in today's society, you need money to function. Not everyone is greedy about it, but everybody needs money to function. That's just the way the world is. And we know that, at least the United States of America. And they know this, and they can pull on the strings of black people when it comes to reparations, and they're doing it.